Sexual Selection, presented by David R. Wood. Sexual Selection, SS. Quote, this leads me to say a few words on what I have called sexual selection. This form of selection depends not on the struggle for existence, but on the struggle between individuals of the same sex, generally males, for the possession of the other sex. End quote. Charles Darwin, On the Origin of Species. Sexual selection is the process by which many species mate and reproduce. This requires a species, e.g. humans, dogs, lions, sharks, etc., to have two biologically distinct sexes, male and female. The value of having two sexes is to increase the amount of genetic diversity. Think of genes as like concepts in the human creative process. The more concepts your imagination has to work with, the more possibilities there are for the production of advantageous inventions. Likewise, the bigger the gene pool, the more possibilities a species has for producing advantageous adaptations. This often proves decisive in nature's survival of the fittest contest. In the process of sexual selection, the males typically compete physically and/or psychologically for mating access to the females. The females actively search for the males that are victorious in order to mate with them. The female then selects her preferred victorious male. At this point, the male then transmits his information, DNA, that produced his successful set of natural adaptations, his genotype, in some form, e.g. intercourse, egg fertilization, etc. For this is what the female is really selecting, the victorious male's successful genotype. It is this genotype that will be blended with hers to hopefully produce offspring with a new pattern of advantageous natural adaptations, i.e., phenotype. This logically maximizes the probability that her offspring will prove competitive in the evolutionary survival of the fittest contest. By constantly having males and females blend their DNA during natural reproduction, new and possibly more advantageous adaptations can be produced. The opposite is also true. The lack of genetic diversity will lead to defects such as hemophilia in humans. The same is true for a lack of concepts being a constraint on the capacity for humans to produce new advantageous inventions. By instinctually selecting the victorious male, the female maximizes her offspring's chance at survival. The important concept to remember about the process of sexual selection is the transmission of DNA, i.e., information, between sexes. It is this newly blended information which serves as the raw material by which the female conceives a new thing in the form of natural offspring. This is similar to how our species conceives new ideas that serve as the basis for producing new inventions.